Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a good week. It's been a busy one for me. It's been a little crazy for me, but it's Friday. Oh, can't post on some channels. Let's see. What channels are we not posting to? Oh, we're good. Okay. Just want to make sure. Hope you're in for some fun times. Got a couple of things planned, maybe a couple of cards. One kind of simpler one kind of, I don't know, out of the box kind of one, mixing some old and new, just shaking up some my ornamental gold. And I got the berry tinsel shimmer splash, which I think was part of the, I haven't used it yet. I don't know if I'm going to use it tonight, but I thought I'd shake it up. Hi, Luann. I'm going to go ahead and switch right down to my down cam and get started. I want to shout out to my mama if she's watching later. Yesterday was my mama's birthday. Happy birthday. Belated birthday again, Mama. So tonight we are going to, I've got to turn my camera just a little bit so I can see my screen. We are going to use the stamp of the month, the one-of-a-kind stamp of the month. I also have the stencil of the month. This is Stamp Club Plus, by the way. I did pull this out. We might use this. It's the Root and Kindness Glitter Stock Pack. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to use this. Hi, Mama. Hi, Meg. I am definitely going to use this tonight. And then we've got the Garden 101 stencil. This is the stencil of the month. All of the links in the link down below and the ones I'm about to post in the chat are all affiliate links, which just means if you place an order using one of those links, I get a small commission. Also, this is the freebie right now that if you place, hey, Easy's and Kate, happy Friday. Easy's, I don't know if you saw that Christopher was live earlier. It's packing and he packed your order. So watch it. You were towards the end because he said something about where he put something in your package. This is our freebie this week with a $25 shippable order. You get this with your order while supplies last. The Rubons, we are going to use that tonight. But I wanted to say that I did post this down below. I posted the Stamp and Die bundle. There is a stencil. I did not grab it. It's somewhere in my room right now that would go with it. But this matches. When we open this up, you will see that it matches the these two match one of the Rubons. And then there is a die that will cut them out. And then there's a couple of strips that will cut the sentiments out. And then there's this little stencil bundle that you can add little florals to. So I did include that. We may use that tonight. I've got some Perfect Blend cardstock. And then one other thing I wanted to pull in is that my friend, this is a shout out to my friend Julie. She asked me about this. This stencil is exclusive right now to the box. It's called Ornamental Tags. She asked me about it, and I'm going to use it tonight because I had an idea on how to use it. And that's the first card we're going to play tonight. So, hi, Cordelia. How are you? All right, let's get started. Let me see. Oh, I'm looking for my paper. All right. All right, here is my Perfect Blend paper. I like to keep a couple card stocks of these around just for fast, quick cards. Grab that. I'm going to throw that behind. I did grab a few things from my stash, some things that aren't like some old Spellbinders dice. Been having fun with them, and a couple of other items we may use tonight. We're going to start tonight with this Ornamental Tags stencil, and I saw this idea a while back with a circle, and I'm going to kind of stemming off that idea, but it's not. So we're going to just grab one. I already did a sample up, and I used this one right here in the middle, so I'm going to do that one again. I'm not using any pixie spray. I'm just going to use the edges to line it up on my paper here. And then I'm just going to use some Post-it notes to block off the extra things, all the things here, so I don't have any extra rub over. And then I'm kind of just going with pastel-y colors. I think I also tagged the floral frames. Is it called floral frames? Paper pad. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to use it or not, but I wanted to grab that and put that in. So I've got my Guppy ink, and I have a Just move a few things over here. Now I'm going to try not to, I know my table's going to shake a little bit, you guys, but I am a heavy blender. So I apologize for that. I'm trying to be better. Now with the Simon Hurley Stellar inks, you guys know those are my favorite. The foam ones, you really don't have to rub. I can just tap. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of ink blend this around the edges. I want it a little bit heavier in the edge and then lighter in the middle. So I'm going very light. And then I might just come in at an angle like this and just kind of come down from the edge, which will give that little bit of a defined edge. And I'm starting off my stencil. If I don't tap, I make sure I start off my stencil like here to go on so I don't get any harsh lines. And my sample I made just to see if I liked it. I used the stamp set, but I'm going to use the Rubons tonight for it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to the side for a minute. Are you ready? I'm going to reveal 1, 2, 3. Look at how fun that is. Isn't that fun? Okay, so we've got that. I do want to do a little splatter, but I think I want to stamp first. So I want to put my, yeah, it isn't due to an earthquake, you're right. I think it's actually because I raised my table up to standing height. And so now it like wiggles. If it was a little bit lower, it wouldn't be. And I haven't quite played with it enough. I'm trying, oops, sorry guys. There's the plastic piece to my stamp. I haven't played with it enough to decide if I like the standing, but I don't like the wiggle. So I may have to go back to the sitting desk and then find a better area for a smaller area, maybe just a small desk that I can put like off the edge or something if I want to stand and craft. I do think it's easier for me when I'm live to stand and craft because I can grab things easier. I don't have to get up, but not sure it's going to work over the long run. I love Guppy too. I wanted a lighter color. So this is the sentiment that you are one of a kind. I could have stamped this second, but I'm going to stamp it first. And oops, almost messed my whole project up. I just re-inked my Raven ink. So I shouldn't need to do too many of these, but I'm stamping over the ink blending. So that's one reason why it might take 1 or 2 stamps to get a nice clean. And I'm just kind of tapping it gentle. So isn't that pretty? And look at how nice that is. Whoever's in the Northeast. Oh, no, we got snow and ice last night. Actually, schools were canceled all over. Fortunately, I was lucky. The snow went north. So we just kind of had a dusting, but it was not really a dusting, maybe an inch, maybe 2. I don't know. But there was ice underneath it. And so it was kind of heavy. It got up to about 30. So it melted real quick, especially if you put some sand down. But like an hour north of me, they got 9 inches of snow. And an hour and a half northwest of me, they got almost 16 inches of snow. So I was kind of lucky. All right, so here's the basest. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you I love these Rubons. So I actually have several packs. So this is a new one. I already cut one open. This is the second one. And this is where you can see it match that stamp set. And it's supposed to warm back up. We're going to have a cold couple of days. So I cut this one off already. And like I said, this one, if you notice, it matches where the stamp set go. So it matches the stamp set, which means you could die cut this out with the matching die here. But I'm just going to go ahead and rub it on. I just want to make sure I have the right side down. Okay. And then I wanted to do it. How did I do my sample? I think I did it this way, I believe. So I'm just going to go ahead and center that kind of on my little ornament here, or my little tag. And then with the Rubons, you get a, oh yeah, you're going to get some snow. We're good for the snow right now. I think it's going to start melting. You get a popsicle stick. And I will say that popsicle stick does work better And I'm going to try to keep my desk as steady as possible and pushing down on it while I rub. And one thing I say, if you are a perfectionist and want it like absolutely perfect, very much take your time. So you get all the way around your edges. Don't lift it off too fast. But if you like the distressed length, you can get, if you don't get it perfect with the rub on, you can get that distressed look. There's a little bit of like an edge around the image that usually, I'll show you if I can when I'm done with this, I'll show you what I mean. And then what you can slowly do is just take a little corner and start lifting and see if it comes up. So I got a little bit of area there. So I'm going to have to, if you get seasick, I want you to look like, hi, Shalana, because I'm going to rub kind of hard for a minute and I might shake my desk just because I want to make sure I get a nice, good, I don't want it too distressed. I do find that a popsicle stick does work a little better. If you got the nice tongue depressor-y type ones, they're nicer too because you have a little bit more hold. And I'm just going to slowly start to peel it away. And then I'm going to rub it a little bit more in the areas. Just to, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to do some splatter, so it'll be fine. But I want my leaves to look pretty close if I can. So when you're not live, of course, you can really take your time and rub it. And it just depends on your pressure and, you can't see it. So sometimes it's like a heat embossing with your heat sticky ink, or embossing ink. You can't quite see it. So you kind of have to turn it in the light and see, okay, I'm going to just kind of go, oh, there's one little spot right here. So like I said, if you lift it up gentle, so it's not liking to stick on my, let's see if I can get that right there, and my ink blending. And that's probably because my ink is still a little wet. I probably should hit it with my heat tool. That would have got it. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Sorry, I saw you pop in quick, but I was focusing on my scratching. I did not want to do this ahead of time. I wanted to do this live so you could see how it works. Like I said, the biggest thing is that that ink underneath is wet, so it's not liking it to stick. So heat set your ink if you're using a ink that takes a little bit longer. It's like Simon's or water reactive inks, like sometimes can take just a little bit longer to dry. That is going to work for me. It's not perfect, but it's going to be good enough for me. Let's keep going. I've got a little bit right here. I don't do a ton of rub-ons, but I love them. But I like to take my time. And I'm going to show you a difference because I actually did one with the stamp as well. All right, that is going to work for me. Okay, so I had a little bit of non-perfect. You can kind of, I don't know if you could see the little bit of the edge that rub-ons have. So, hi, Lynn from Akron. Akron. So here is what it looks like. It's a little bit of distressed. Now I use the stamp set, and this is what so they look very close. So, if you need it to be perfect, maybe use the stamp set, but I love it, or take your time with the rub-on. And you can kind of see as you twist it in person, you can see the rub-on around the edges, and that's the part that keeps it. So it's really, really fun. And then for a little bit of fun, I'm going to just take a little bit of guppy here, put it on my table, and then instead of water, I grabbed my favorite, Ornament Gold, and I'm just going to spritz a tiny bit in just because I love the shimmer of it. And I'm going to mix it in, and I'm just going to splatter a little bit. And I'm kind of just going from top to bottom over this way. I'm kind of leaving that corner alone. And that is all I'm going to do. And then all I need to do is put this on a card base, and I have one card done. I mean, look at how pretty and fun that was. I mean, you could add some gems. Actually, let us do that. I will add a few gems here. Let's add some, let's see, what color gems do I have? Do I have some yellow? I do. Or no, not yellow. Well, Yeah, we'll do the yellow. Here's my heat resistant vellum. I was looking for that. We'll do the yellow here. And we're just going to add a few little gems. And actually what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put them kind of, I haven't used my glue press in a day or two. I'm just going to put them kind of in random spots on my, where I don't have the perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works for me. 5. And then we'll add those. And we have, like I said, our first card done. Bling, bling, bling. Yes, exactly. So Penny, earlier we were talking, Penny had a shipment come in today. I will tell you, so that's the reason I'm bringing this up. The spring countdown to spring box, there were 8 left in stock. Penny, do you want to put the QR code up for that? If you want that, is anyone that uses the Brutus Mo Shimmer Splash, is there something special you do to keep it from rubbing off? Oh, good question. I've never had it rub off. Thank you, Meg. So there we go. We just have a little bit of extra bling. I mean, you could add more. I'm just going to put it on the thing. I like it this way, and I'm going to leave it like this. You could cut this down, put it on some black. I'm going to put it off to the side because you guys know me. I'll put it on card base later. But my spring fling box is 1 block away. It came to the post office at 12:10, but they didn't deliver it. I decided to track it to see if it was going to show up tomorrow, because sometimes my orders go from Des Moines to Cedar Rapids and then to my hometown, but it said arrived at the post office at 12:10. If I had tracked it this afternoon, I would have been like, knock, knock, knock. Can I have my package, please? Oh, I'm so mad I didn't track it. I just didn't think it was coming when I tracked it this morning. It said it was still in Des Moines. So I could have had it tonight. Anyway, all right, next. We are going to use the stencil of the month. If I can figure out where I put everything. Here. There it is. So no, I have not ever had it rub off. Actually, here, I will do a little on a piece of paper. Maybe it's the cardstock you're using. Is it possible? Where's my, you guys, I keep losing things. Oh, here it is. Perfect blend. Let's put a little shimmer splash. Like I said, I've never had it rub off unless it's not being mixed in well. Because see how this is the bottom? There's the shimmer, the mica part of it is shimmer. I'm not I know they were getting them shipped. And it rubs off. Well, I've got gilded right here. So, and I will tell you, see, it's been sitting a while. I never noticed it to rub off. So let's try it. I just want to make sure I get it mixed up real good. I mean, I've not noticed it. I'm going to do it on this one. And then we'll see how it dries and we'll check it out. I mean, I know there's different times with shimmer, and I know there's fixatives you can get to put on them, like with Perfect Pearls. And I mean, I know Perfect Pearls has a fixative in it, but there's some of those mica powders, but I've never had it rub off. So I'm just going to splatter some on, and I'll set this aside to dry, and then we'll test it. Okay. Yeah. Penny, I was so jealous for you. I did not sign for SCT this time, but did you already rip it all the way open? And if you did you peek? Isn't it great? Yeah, it's fun. Okay. For my next trick, I got another piece of, okay. I've got another piece of Perfect Blend, and I'm going to use, and we're going to make a little different. Your box arrives early next week. That's awesome. You're welcome, Cordelia. Anytime. You always can ask me. If I have it, I'm never afraid to use it. Now, if it's in the other side of the room, you might have to wait for me to grab it, but I'm a good person to try things. I am going to kind of take off Walter. Walter kind of inspired me this last night. I was trying to figure out how I exactly wanted to do this card tonight. When you have a background like this, sometimes I think this background, hi, Miss Lori. Are you watching it with my friend, Julie? Because I just called her out. Lori's my friend that lives here near me. So that's why I have to call her out and say that. They usually don't always catch me live, and sometimes they craft on Saturdays without me, but they tell me I'm with them because they watch me. They watch me live, my live together while they're crafting. And I'm like, well, that was fine, but I could come out and craft live. I have to tease them. You peaked. Oh, you peaked? Luann peaked? Yeah, the Brutus Monroe set for the SET group is amazing. And I am not going to ruin it because, some people may be non-T peak. Okay. So what I did is just masked off these two. And then we're going to grab a couple of colors. I'll move some stuff out of the way here. Oh, you're in the house. Okay. Well, you'll have, if she doesn't watch, if you watch tomorrow, I called her out and I used this stencil just for her. All right, I've got Wolf and Gur. And I'm going to start with the Wolf and find I haven't even used a gray one before. Now, this isn't a Stellar ink. Neither are these. These are the original dye ink pads. So they're the felt pads. So you do kind of sometimes rub a little bit to get them. Now, when I was playing with this, I liked what I did. I started up here and then I changed my mind. So I am going to go over because, when you look at tools, usually, okay, I want to make sure I was using the right color. Yeah. Wolf is not, if another color that would be really good to do this with is Gina K's Soft Stone. It's a little bit lighter gray than this, but this works for me. That is really looking brown to me for some reason. Oh, well. This is a warmer gray. And if you use like Soft Stone from Gina K, you would get like a cooler gray. And then I just added the tiniest bit to the handle and then the handle. Yeah, the handle in the top part, where your hand goes. I don't know what that's called. I don't know if it's called the shaft, the pole. Anyway. I'm going around the edges again on the shovel just to kind of give it some more depth. And then, because I'm like, if you look at that, that looks a little bit more brown, but it is a gray color. I can promise you that. And then when we use, oh, you know what I did? I know what I did, you guys. I swapped my things. Your spring box is shipped. Yes. Okay. So we're going to do that again. Let's get our wolf out. I swapped the lids on them. That's why it did look brown to me. That's okay. We'll make it work. I'm going to wipe this off really good. I loved Sean's card too with his squares. I loved both Sean and Walter's cards last night. And that's what kind of inspired me. I knew we were going to use this, but I knew that Walter focusing on one or two images is really what made me think about what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go back over this. It's going to be darker, but that's okay. A little bit of the gray. Oops, this is how you can fix it. Sometimes we have oopsie whoopsies. In the words of Christopher. Just going to make it darker. There's a little bit, that's just the dirt that's showing underneath, right? The brown. We'll add a little bit there. That looks better with the gray. See how it look gray? Didn't even pay attention, but I'm just adding a little bit of that gray to the handle and then the shaft or I don't know, this is like the handle and then the handle here, like the wooden part. All right. And we'll put that away. Now we're going to grab our Gur. Now I have a little blending brush for this one just because it's a little area. So the first one was Wolf. This one's Gur. And then we're going to just go in and I'm just going to do the handle and the wood part. And I'm just kind of sweeping it. And I did not add the stamp set I'm going to use with this to my links because there was only one left in stock. Yeah, mine probably is too. I don't even know if we own a shovel. My honey was he worked for, he was a pipeliner for a few years. So he dug a lot of ditches. So we always joke that we don't own a shovel. We do, but all right. For the reveal, here we go. And then pull that up. So you got the two-toned look. I mean, you could totally ink blend this with embossing ink and put some sterling just on this part if you really wanted it silver. But I think it's fun. And of course, we've got the handle. There's a little bit of a spot right there. If that bothered you, you could get a little paintbrush and kind of fill that in. I'm not gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it like this. So not gonna do any splatter on this per se, but what I'm doing is I grabbed the Bubbles and Broomsticks stamp set. There, like I said, there was only one of these left in stock, so I did not link it below because since there's one. But I think it was funny because we're a perfectly unexpected pair, and together we're unlimited. And I thought both of these worked really, really well with this because with these two items, your work can be unlimited. We're going to do the perfectly unexpected pair because it's like a fork and a spoon, you know. And I think that that's kind of a fun little sentiment. Now, before we stamp this down, instead of what I want to do is I'm going to cut this out. And this is kind of where I own one on the East Coast. Lord, there are no such thing as large yard in California. Well, I would say so. Probably not. I'm going to go ahead and just trim this little panel down because I just want this to be kind of a my focal point. I'm going to trim off the top, a little image, and then we will also stamp our sentiment and make a sentiment strip. And I'm wondering if that little piece is going to, oh, that's going to work perfect. Awesome. Let's get that out of here. Grab our Misty and stamp that while we're at it. And then when we're done with this, then it's just going to be wild and crazy because I have no other plans. We're just going to play. Okay, so what I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stamp this down with that wolf. The wolf. Let's put the gur away so I don't lose it and mess that up again. That's funny because that says goof underneath. It's supposed to say wolf. All right. But I did label the bottoms of mine. I just wasn't paying attention earlier when I was practicing. Now I could stamp this with both colors and tie that in, but I'm going to just use this one. I just thought this was a fun sentiment and a different way to use your stamp set. So please make sure you're going through, grabbing previous box stamps, inspiration box stamps, and you can use them like this. We are a perfectly unexpected pair. All right, let's get this Misty out of the way. So here's our basis. Now I thought this kind of boring, right? My mom and dad owned a very large yard, actually, in Minnesota, where I grew up. The one they sold a few years ago. It was a very big yard. It took a long time to mow. Ask me how, I know. What I thought would be for fun, and I did do this down. I did share this down below. Is I did grab the framed florals. I thought it would be fun and kind of an interesting take to grab a fun, bright color and mix it with this. This is a paper pad. I know that I believe Walter used this for sure last night. It matches with Carrot Cake, Cobalt, Mortar, Bahama Bubblegum. I might grab one of those colors. I haven't decided yet, but I just thought we'd go in and grab one of these. I'm kind of leaning towards this little bit of a lighter blue. Yeah, I think that's the one I want to go because it's not quite as busy. You know, we might change our mind. I'm going to use this one because I'm going to grab a piece of cobalt color here. So let's just cut this down, and I'm not using any sketches or anything tonight. I'm just going to cut it down. And actually what I think I might do is we might make a mini slim card. I'm going to cut it right in half at 3 inches. We've got our little thing there. We've got our sentiment up here. And we're going to pull in maybe some of our rub-ons here yet. Then I need the color, and I need cobalt. Look at this beautiful blue color. Isn't it beautiful, beautiful? I'm really excited. I found a new paper holder online that I'm really excited to. It's coming tomorrow. And then all my paper is going to get behind me. You have a big yard. Cordelia has one. Meg has a big one. Yeah, I don't have a very big yard here in my hometown. But for those of you who know that I live on the Mississippi, I can go across the street behind me, the window right behind me, a block up, and I have a 3-mile long park on the Mississippi River that I can walk on at least. I just don't have to maintain it. But look at how pretty that color is. And then, of course, I don't know if I have a slimline card, a mini slim card base handy. Let's see. So I've got that white. And I tend to do a lot with the white on just the edges instead of the top and bottom, but you could totally cut that down. But look at how pretty that is. And then we've got our little sentiment here. I'm thinking we need a little blue to poke that up. Hey, hey, how are you? Jill, how are you, right? I try to remember because I know that I'm pretty sure that's your handle for your channel, Jill from the design team. How's the weather near you? I know my mama said Jill doesn't live too far from my mother, but so I need to meet her. We need to get together and meet, right, Jill? They had snow. That looks good. I know it melted. Yep, my favorite. Yeah, okay, Jill, and I'll get it. I just like to make sure because I'm better with faces than names. But hey, look at that. I'm remembering. So I'm going to cut that down because we're going to put it on the blue. And let's see. I just want that little blue to help puck that up. And I think that, and I might even put this right over the top of this. I think that's kind of fun. May not add any rub-ons because I'm liking this the way it is. Yeah, yep. I knew you had some snow. All right, let's get this put down together. Oh, that's a pretty color too. I just got this paper pad the other day. I don't know if you guys saw my photo on the fan club page or on my Instagram that Heather packed my last order, and it was from the sale, and it was in a pizza box. Basically, I called it the pizza box. It looked like a giant, large pizza box, and it was funny because I had to go to the post office for work, and I knew it was in because it said at the post office, but I had to go up there for something else. I think I had to buy stamps and I think I had to go to the bank or something. So I was running errands. I stopped at the bank or post office. I'm like, hi, my package is here. Do you want to just give it to me? I know you're not putting it in. Well, it wasn't going to fit in a parcel locker anyway. So she was like, yeah. And then I had a second package coming to me. So it's a little longer than my base. So I am going to trim it. Because I tend to make my bases as I make my slimline cards because I never know what size I'm going to make. If I'm going to do 6.5, 6 1/4. There we go. There's that. I think it is. And actually, I'm pretty sure, Jill, you're the one who kind of inspired me a little bit tonight because I'm pretty sure I recognized some flowers I saw earlier. If you don't get the inspiration box, this die came in the inspiration box. It's limited edition to the inspiration box. I'm pretty sure I saw you use those flowers. So I cut a bunch of those out tonight. I want to plan on using them. I'm thinking I need to put this on some blue as well. Look at that. It almost fits, you guys. We're going to make it work. We're going to cut it down a little bit more. I love it when it happens like that. A little bit off the top, a little bit off the bottom, and let's try it. Yeah, I thought as soon as I kind of forgot because I needed to do some things. So I had gotten my box and they shipped my die to me separately. Just because, design team lead and have doing stuff. And I got my die and I saw your card you posted today on our design team app. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the die. It's so pretty. So I cut a bunch of them out tonight. All right, this is about perfect. So I'm being very careful to try to get that to line up. All right. Yep, that little extra blue is going to make that pop just a little bit. All right, let's get that down. You could pop this up with some foam tape, but I am just going to put it normal. And I want the pitchfork up. And yep, I want the pitchfork up. And put it down in this corner because it's just an unexpected. And then we're going to go ahead and I think what I'm going to do is take this and I don't do this very often. I'm going to just snip it and I'm going to snip it and we're going to glue it down and then I'll snip it after. I have not used the butterfly yet tonight on that stamp set and I love it. So I'd like to do that too, but see what time we have yet. Okay, so then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to eyeball it. And I am not good at eyeballing, but I figure it makes it work. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just put that right here. And I'm going to butt it up against the edge, just like that. Oh, I love die cutting, but I never took the time to die cut. I was discussing this last weekend with some crafty friends. I love to die cut now that I got my little mini Empress because it's right here on my desk and I can just run it through. So I'm starting to love to die cut more and more, even more, especially during lives. I mean, like I have so many dies that take layers to put together, but I don't always take the time to do it because I have some more gems out here. These are some blue shift gems because, I hated cranking. I hated cranking and I always put off. I think I'm just going to put 3 down right here. All right, is my glue stuck? We've got our wood stove going again, so it's a little cool in our house. Or warm in our house. So sometimes my glue gets stuck. But it was just fine. Okay. Let's see if I can get that to come out. Oh, is it going to be poopy? It's going to be. We'll use my Barely Arts glue because it's got the pin in it. Are all my glues done today? Looks like it. My mama's pin. I got this pin from my mom. She was here and she told me I could steal some of her pins like that. There we go. And I'm not going to worry about too much that the glue dots aren't in a line because I can line up my dots with this point of my stick tool. So I can just kind of, and you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. That looks good enough. That looks straight enough to me. There we go. We got card number 2 done. So let's move on to the next. Okay. All right, let's put that one aside. We've got this one. Oh, yep, I can see. All right. Trying to see Cordelia. I got that. I mean, they're not coming off here. There might be a little bit of that shimmer mess coming off, if that's what you're talking about. The little like shimmery, but it's not. Let's try to wipe my fingers off here. I'm going to put my fingers in some squeaky clean. See if that's what you're talking about. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's not quite dry yet. Okay, hold on. Okay, so my finger does not have any shimmer on it. I'm just going to rub it across. Though this has just been sitting here, so I have not let it dry it's only been drying since we started. And there's not really any. There's a tiny bit of maybe shimmer, but not really. So I don't know if that answers your question there. Like it's not coming off, Cordelia. So, or maybe if it's thicker in a spot, like if you get a bigger glob, maybe it's not dry all the way. I'll keep an eye on it and try some. I'll play with it over the weekend and let you know next week. How does that sound? 2. I'll do some more with that this weekend. Okay. Now let's grab, I'm going to grab another one of these rub-ons, if you guys are okay with that. And what I'm going to do is I think we're going to use this one. I like the bright colors of this. Let's find I want to use my butterfly with this. And I want to use the other rub-ons with it as well. I want to use one of the lace rub-ons, maybe the Sentiments. With mine, a whole dot of splatter will rub off. I wonder if it's the cardstock. Oh, okay. This was the perfect blend. So it's, it sat in there, so it didn't come off, but so I'm not sure. It could be that, I know that sometimes it's with ink. Let's find a fun color to play with. Let's grab a bright yellow. Let's grab a yellow. I want to grab a sunny yellow. This is butter. I think that'll be a fun color to mix. And once again, I think I'm going to cut this down to I'll play around with it, Cordelia, and keep an eye on it myself too. Let's cut this side down. I'm going to make another mini slim card. You guys know me. I love mini slim. And I like to go 3 inches and then layer. I have a little bit of a bent corner here, so I'm going to just chop that off. And then I'm going to make this side 6. Just a little bit more of a bent corner. There we go. Yep, that one's 6. Okay. And then I've got my beautiful, fun die cut here. But I'm not 100% sure that's what I want to do yet. Let's see. Let's find this card base here. Is this going to fit on here? I don't like the size of this card base per se. How big is that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that'll work, I guess. The extra white. But what I think I want to do, okay, I'm going to change my mind completely because I want to use that rub-on and that's not long enough. So let's cut this down to an 8 size. I'm going to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4 so I can layer it on white. And then we need another color. But first, I'm going to do a rub-on here. I'm thinking I'm going to do one of this lacy rub-on off the bottom. It's a really fun yellow. I love that. I just thought that would be a nice kind of springy pastel-y color. These scissors are not the best, so I'm not sure why I'm using them. They need to be cleaned. They've got so much gunk on them from my Valentine's Day countdown box, which with the spring countdown box coming, just so you know, I will be starting to film that tomorrow. So if you want to follow along and play, those will start being filmed over the weekend and I will start uploading them hopefully next week. I'm hoping to get a bunch of them done tomorrow. I think I'm going to layer it up about right here. So let's use my magnets to hold this in place. So sometimes you guys know me, I can have a plan, but I do like to kind of go live without a plan because I feel like I'm going to step my magnet down to kind of hold that because I think sometimes we overthink our card making. Like I said, once again, if you get a little seasick, this is a time to just listen and maybe not watch if I get a little shaky with my desk while I'm scratching because I'm being vigorous with my rubbings. And I know sometimes the key with a rub-on is making sure you get that final edge. And I know sometimes you can also rub and it will start to move. And that means that it's released. It's released everything. It's still not stuck. So I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. Yeah, see, I just put rub-on my desk. I'm okay with that. I think this is a pretty stamp. Christopher, if you're watching this, I would love to see this lace as a stamp sometime down the line. All of these little lacy things would be beautiful as a stamp. That's just my opinion. Something like it. There's a Fletch hair in there. Oh, well, I guess it's sticking. I was rolling on the floor with the dog before live tonight, so I was covered in dog hair. Oh, I used to, Meg. Is it Meg or Megan? I don't know because I know you have it Meg as your name, but I don't know if you would prefer to be called Megan. But it's starting to go live and having things, when I start going live and having things happen during my live that weren't supposed to happen, I have found that, look and see if I have a different popsicle stick, that I've embraced the non-overthinking because it's just cardstock and paper. And I always have at least somebody who will love my card, even if it's just me. Just Meg. Okay, perfect. I wanted to make sure because I saw that, but I wanted to make sure. Because sometimes we shorten our names on, social media for the convenience that the name was taken. I love the meme where it's like, how do you have your name as your email address? Yeah, I'm that old. I mean, my email address is not just my name because my name, it was taken. I couldn't believe it back in 2019, whatever, 97, 98. But all right, let's see how it working here. It's looking pretty good. This is going to be more of a stressed. Again, like I said, trying to get it. Sometimes I'll see if you can see that. Sometimes you can, so you can see where I pulled it. It's like milky where that's shiny. So I know that I kind of released it a little bit. So I'm showing you see how that I can layer that back down. Christopher used these the other night, and I'm sure he has a better trick. I was in the middle of something, and I watched part of it. But use the edge. Go with circles. Just love to just go. All right, we're going to go for it. Pretty good. That's pretty good. A little on that one edge, but that was my fault because I moved it too soon. So there we go. We've got a start of our card base. Now I think we need a little bit more color. I need a little more. So I'm going to grab, I have some black cardstock here. I'm going to stamp. We're just going to cut a little strip. So this is at 4 1/4. I'm going to move it over 1 inch, cut down. This is licorice cardstock. If you have some Raven left, you could use Raven, any black cardstock. And I'm just going to put that down right here. And then we've got this beautiful wreath here. But I'm not sure that's exactly what I want to do yet. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to. We're going to do more rub-ons. I hope that's okay. I hope you guys are okay with me doing more rub-ons. The Sentiments, it is actually... That was one of mine too, and I forget about that one because I haven't used it in a while. I wonder where mine is. I love the sentiments from that one too, ECs. I'm going to put this off to the edge, off to the edge a little bit. And we're going to, once again, I'm going to start. This time what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use the edge of to kind of stick it down, make sure it's all stuck. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my edge of mine and rub it all in. See if that helps a little bit more. And then I'm going to go around in circles over the whole thing. And then we'll see how well I did. Doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad. Just want to make sure. I'm going to do it a little bit more. Just lifted a corner, and it looked pretty good. One little spot right there. Okay, I did not get it perfect. Got a little bit of a distress look, you can see, but I think it looks pretty good actually for that distress look of it, because we're going to add this butterfly. However, I already have these stamped out. I've got them stamped out. I always use, this is the packaging that the stamp came from. I just cut the little thing off the top, leaving it compressed. I open up the bottom and I use my SVG files to cut them all out, and I get a bunch ready. So I've got my stamp, I got my dies, and I stick them all inside. And then I keep my little negatives and my little pieces that need to stamp in there. So I've got my butterfly, and I'm thinking we're just going to kind of put that butterfly over here. But I had one more little idea. Not sure it's going to work. If I have it handy, I might just have to go without it. I grabbed a die. Oh yeah, I put them all here. I wanted to, I grabbed a bunch of dies because I think these play really well with some older, like you've got, all these kind of fun dies where you can cut little frames out or things. I have this Tailored Expression one that I just got, and I thought it would be kind of fun to see if I could cut out a frame to go behind my little butterfly here. But you could use any nested shape and put a circle. This one's called Focal Frame. But I thought it would be fun to maybe put it here and then put this, because I know it's going to cover up some of our, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is cut this out of vellum. So I'm going to just do that quick here. We're getting close to end of our time. I think black would be a fun frame to do if you didn't, but I don't want to cover up my fun little rub-on. So let's do this. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jill. So, you could take one of your, if you have a shape like this, if it doesn't have a circle or it doesn't cut the middle, just find a rectangle that would fit in the middle, and you could cut out a shape that's like that. And so I thought that would be kind of a fun little addition to my butterfly. And it's just, you could also kind of put that in there if you really wanted to, but I'm going to leave that part out. This could go over, you could do it even over your floral a little bit if you wanted to, like this. But I think I'm going to do it off to the side just a little bit, so you can still see it. And then I'm going to get my butterfly down, and then I think what I'll do is stamp my sentiment in there. See if I put my sentiment off to the side just a little bit, and we can put I'll stamp it in there though, like that. Okay, so let's get this colored quick, and then we'll finish this one off. I'm just going to grab some markers. Quick coloring, not a lot of. These are Olo markers. I love the Olos. I'm going to do a little bit of shading just by going out a little bit. I'm kind of trying to play with the colors from my, and I think I'll put the pink in the middle here from my flowers. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this very light pink here and just go out with it. And I'm going to even do the dot just because we don't need a ton of extra color. These are very far in between colors, but if I go over a little bit, that starts to blend in and look intentional as it dries. I'll do a little bit here. And then I'm going to grab one more little pinky color. It's a little bit red, and just go around the edges. This might not be a real life butterfly, but it's my card, so it can be any color I want it to be. Awesome. Okay, there we go. So I've got that. And then by doing that, I can also use a little adhesive to put my, I'm not sure where my glue dots are right now. I'll see if I can find them, but they might be too far away from me, my mini glue dots. So I'm going to stick my stamps in like this. I'm going to grab, if I have my packaging, I'm just going to grab this packaging. This works. I'm going to grab my packaging because I'm going to kind of put it right here. I'm going to put this down. It doesn't matter where this goes. This is just to hold the place. And then I'm going to put this over. Oh, I love, love, love them too. I need to get my other colors. I kind of wanted to do that for my birthday, but instead I'm making a trip to Bruce Monroe. So I don't think that's going to be what I'm going to do. Oh, we better take that stamp off. All right. So now we'll move this. So I want to say, don't forget, if you place an order, like I said, if you use one of the links I posted earlier, or if you use the link down below, those are my affiliate links. However, any $25 order that's shippable, you will get these rub-ons added automatically to your cart. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to put this butterfly right here. We're going to get him on some dimensionals. And then if you go to my channel, which, well, I am going to put them on, it's on Bruce Monroe channel too, but also my channel is Sugar Cards by Candi, and I will be having the spring countdown boxes. They will start beginning, but I forgot I am uploading those also to the Bruce Monroe channel. The Halloween box and the Christmas box were on my channel, but I would talk to Christopher about doing them having them on the Bruce Monroe channel too. I'm going to kind of stick that down like that and pull it up, because then I can add just a little bit of glue right here. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put that down just like that. And then for this corner, we're going to trim it. I'm going to do this one here. And then I'm going to grab one of these more rub-ons. There's one flower that matches this one right here. It matches really. This scissors needs to be glued too, or de-glued too. We'll add that up to this corner, and that will help it stay kind of glued down. So go over all the edges and then the center. And I was rubbing. Yes, I know. Me too. That's why I said I'm trying not to shake my table too much. I mean, if I wasn't live, I mean, my table would probably be a rocking. All right, let's see if I got that done right. Yeah. Oh boy, somebody's whining. So there we go. We've got that. This could be layered on a piece of black cardstock. This one's not cut to size, but you could do black. And that would be, we need a few gems, right? Let's put a few gems. I'll put a gem on each of the butterfly wings there. 1, 2. And then I think we need 3, 4, and 5. That works good for me. And then what gems we'll grab? Let's grab these pink ones. Crystal ones would be good too. And then I will kind of throw everything off to the side so you can see what we did tonight. Next week, I will be using the inspiration box to make a card. I'm hoping this weekend to get a bunch of projects done. And maybe do a few extra, not just the spring box, but maybe making a couple extra short videos and use some of the other products, because I should have the rest of the release coming tomorrow. As I said, it's in the post office a block away from me. I'm like, I could just about touch it. So there we go, you guys. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way so you can get my cards in. Here was card number 1. Like I said, you could also cut this one down and layer it. I just don't have it on a card base yet. And there's card number 1. Black gems, yes, black gems would be nice too. I did the pink. Card number 2 and card number 3. Oh, you thought it was your dog. No, it's mine. He's right down at the bottom of the stairs. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate y'all so much. And I had to laugh. It's funny. Yeah, your arthritic joints will be angry if you're supposed to be in what's supposed to be fun. Yeah, would you should talk about the popsicle sticks. So I appreciate you guys all so much. Have a great evening, and I will see you guys next week and maybe sooner with some pre-recorded videos for the spring fling if I can get it all done. You're welcome, you guys. Have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Bye.